Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about another episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Penny Stock Market Watch. Without hesitation, let's just jump right into it. Starting with a new card in that because if you look the top 9, right? These are the usual Gadarla, Allure, Cursoutland, Gear Gamma, the rank 4, Stealth Kraken, Relinquished, Anima, Wing Requetto, even the map. We've seen these all before, and this might technically not even be a penny stock anymore, right? It is, okay. And this is why. The pre-sales, $8, $7. So it just recently slipped under that $5 mark. And so it might be a great time to pick this up. Here's the thing about this card, and there's not a whole lot of, let's see, let's check this one out. It doesn't look bad. I like that picture. So here's the thing about this card. And there's 16 available from Matt's Cavalcade, right? If we bought all 16 of those puppies for $4.25, that would be $80, right? And for $80, we're looking at a card right now that after this first page is, we're already at 550 at the end of the first page. $6, right? And that's the type of gains you're looking at. So $6, 16 copies, 6 times 16, it's 32, 64. Quick math here, right? 96. So we're talking about turning $80 and turning it into $96, and that's if it hits a $6 mark, right? So that level of improvement, that's $1.50 gain on 16 cards, which is $16.50, and there's no indication at all that that card would be slowing down anytime soon, right? So it's just something to keep an eye out for. I love that TCG Player added this. We know it's going down, but the Synchro Storm is still out and about. It's still everywhere. And this is still the best version of Tri-Brigade right now. And unless Tri-Brigade specifically gets hit, this card... So that might be one of those type of situations where if you're 99.999% sure Tri-Brigade's not going to get hit, get this card. Because if Tri-Brigade doesn't get hit and other decks do, this card in this deck's going to be really, really good. But if Tri-Brigade does get hit, especially if it's the lyricist side, this card's probably gonna go be a $2 or $3 card. So maybe wait post ban list. The thing is, post ban list, it probably will no longer be a penny stock, right? And the next card I do want to talk about, like I said, it's the usual suspects here. It's not anything too super duper crazy. We see Power Desires has stepped back in. Interestingly enough, let's talk about Torrential Tribute. Torrential Tribute's an interesting one. I want to look at all versions. So if we sort this from high to low, that'll give us the opportunity to see what cards are. So that's interesting. If there's a I gotta check this out. Give me a second. It's probably like moderately played. It's damaged. Who buys damaged versions of cards? I don't even know why that's an option. Like here's this bent, ripped version of Torrential Tribute. But anyway, wow, there are a lot of listings, and we look at the listings. I'm just looking at the listings under $5, right? And we got Battles of Legends, Relentless Revenge, the Booster 5 from the Turbo Pack, Epic Dawn, the Dark Emperor Structure Deck, Retro Pack, Realm of the Sea Emperor, it's an older structure deck, Codebreaker, Fury from the Deep, Zombie Madness, all of those are structure decks. We look at legendary decks. They're common. The Lynx Strike starter deck, Master of Pendulum, and Lost Sanctuary. So we see, first off, a lot of structure decks, which is probably why the cheapest version of Torrential Tribute is $1.40. Like most cards that have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 23 versions, their cheapest one is not usually over $1. But the reason why is because a lot of these sets were not very popular. I mean, they're popular in their own right, but it's not like a major booster set like the most. I'm trying to think of the most recent one that came out, and I'm drawing a blank here. Like Brothers of Legends, not really as much as Brothers of Legends, kind of. I'm more thinking even like a Megaton, for example. Um, but like Burst of Destiny, for example. There's never been a torrential tribute in a set like that. It's set like Hobby League 4 or Legendary Collection or Structure Decks, right? And when we look, there is a common theme, pun intended, with a lot of the cards under this price mark, the $4 price mark, right? 319, 299. There's 3, 6, 9, 11 cards under $4. They're all commons except one. And that one is the one that brought us here. If you remember, it's one of the best selling Yu-Gi-Oh! It's his 24th best selling Yu-Gi-Oh! Card under $5. Right? So what does all of what I just said mean? One, this card's not going anywhere. Ever since this card came back to 3, it's been a staple, and not just stun decks, but even in side decks. A lot of decks that do run a little bit more stun combo that aren't as like fast tempo as some other decks. Like honestly, Sword Soul could run this card in its side deck. It's not amazing, but it could definitely do that, right? And we even look at a deck like Tri Brigade could run this deck. Tri Brigade could actually run this card pretty well, right? Win a monster, summon, destroy a monster on the field. A lot of times people, if they have the out, people, if they're aware, play around it. But a lot of times they just have to bite the bullet and go, I have to try to play through the torrential tribute. And a lot of times people can't. And so the reason I'm saying that is damage once again. The reason I'm saying that is because this is really a $2 card. This is theoretically a $2 card already, and it's in one of the most popular sets out right now. And the price has been just going up and down all over the place since the set came out. But we look at every other copy of Torrential Tribute that is no longer a common, right? And these are $2.45, or like $2 was the real price mark. Every version that's not a common, even the rares, right? And I don't know if you're like me. I actually like commons more than rares. I'm not a big fan of commons. We look at the first near mint. That's $2.50 plus the 78 cents. Shipping is already there. Like, it's really like a $4 card, right? And okay, the TLDR of what I've been kind of rambling on about, right, when it comes to this specific version of Torrential Tribute is one, it's as cheap as a common version of Torrential Tribute, and it is the only version that is that cheap. Two, it's a rarity in premium gold that's one of its best rarities. There's a Starfoil, there's 2 other golds. There's the platinum. There's the secret. There's a few ultras. It's a lot of ultras, right? So maybe the star foils and the others, but I don't see why it can't fall where the other gold rare torrential tributes are. This gold rare torrential tribute's got a market price of $10.50. This one's got a market price of $8.40. I'm sure if you look at it, this is about 10. This is about 8. It's a $2 card. Even if it hits half of that, we're doubling the money. Does that all make sense? Like I said, I threw a lot at. So the TLDR, the bullet points is, one, it's the best selling card. It's one of the best selling cards under $5, right? That's what brought us here. Two, it's this specific version of this card is the only version under $4 that's not a common, right? So if you want to rarity bump your torrential tribute, this is the route to take, right? If you're trying to get it, for the cheapest one you can get. Three, every other version of gold is a $8 to $10 card. It's above $5, right? And this set just came out. So obviously the price is the way that it is now, but in a year from now, it'll probably be at that $3 to $4 mark. I'm not gonna, cross my heart, hope to die Scout's honor, right? But it's kind of staring us in the face. All the other signs are pointing to this being a $5 card a year from now. So it's just something to keep in mind. The last card I want to talk about, this is kind of, because we are getting closer and closer and closer and closer. We were within a month now of when they said the next ban list would be by, goodness gracious, this card's all over the place. How many versions of this card are there? But the last card I did want to talk about is Call by the Grave. And the reason why I was talking about the ban list just now is because this is a potential ban list target. We have Crossout Designator. It's not as popular, right? And I know that some people might prefer Call by the Grave. Personally, I think that if Crossout Designator was a $2 card, everybody would run it. I think that the fact that it was a Megaton exclusive, it's a $50 card, it's really not that great, is why a lot of people are avoiding it. That's why I might be wrong about this, but in my recollection, recently the online tournaments have more crossout designators because it is a genuinely good card, and it's, in my opinion, better than Called by the Grave, right? But that being said, this is still a $2 common, and it's at 1. So this is, once again, if you got your buddy that works at Konami, or you're 99.99% sure that this card is coming off the ban list, every single version of this card is going to go up. Maybe it'll go up $1, maybe it'll go up 50 cents, whichever you want to do it. I mean, we'll go back to the cheapest version right now. This isn't even the best selling one. There's actually not a lot of people selling a bulk amount of these. But even if you just bought out these little common ones for $2 a piece, and you bought, like, let's say the first 2 pages of it, which is 20, you spent about 50 bucks, probably 60 bucks, maybe 55 bucks after shipping and handling to get 20 copies of these, and then they all became $3. You can immediately flip that. You can immediately flip that, right? So now I just spent $60 on 20 cards that I'm going to be able to sell after shipping and handling for like 70, 80, right? Or maybe it's a $4 card, a $5 card, and that's the common version. The version that brought us here was from Dual Devastator, and I talked about Dual Devastator um, in the last Market Watch. This set is so good. I know $50 is a lot. The Ash is what's carrying it, as a Solemn Strike, as a Super Poly, but another thing that's carrying it is the Called by the Grave, right? These are, 10 listings here, 24 listings here. Just about everything on this first page, other than the bottom 3 cards here, is pretty decent. Royal Decree, not really. Lost Wind is pretty good, though. Tornado Dragon is pretty good. What's great about Dual Devastator, I feel like I'm trying to... it's like, I don't have a bunch of Dual Devastators that I'm trying to sell. I'm just literally trying to be like, yes, I have my own storefront where I do sell cards, and you guys can check that out. But I'm really just trying to help people out and give them the best bang for their buck. And every card in Dual Devastator is an ultra rare, so you can get cool looking versions of Anti-Spell Fragrance and Cosmic Cyclones and Artifact Lancias for relatively cheap. There can only be once. Dimensional Barrier. We know Dimensional Barrier is about to be crazy once the All-Bat structure that comes out, right? And Saryuja is an interesting, if you have room for it, you can play it. A Dweller seems to almost always be in any deck that can put 2 level 4s on the board at the exact same time. Abyss Dweller's there. Tornado Dragon, Inspector Border, right? If we go a little bit further to the second and third pages, we do see a bit of a fall off. I mean, Dino Wrestler, that's another card. Ban list, maybe. Danko Seka, Red Reboot, another card. Ban list, maybe. But, after that, Sky Blaster, the Musketeer. But the reason we're here, right? The reason we came here was because Called by the Grave. And Gamberseel's in this as well. So, 50 bucks is a lot, but it's worth it. Especially if you can find Dual Devastator for what they were originally selling for, which I think was like 40. Take that and run. And that's like Walmart, Barnes and Noble, in the Midwest territory, especially Michigan, Meijer. Target's kind of getting rid of trading cards because of what happened. But if you can find a Dual Devastator box for like $40-ish, I would take that and run. Even if you can find it for 50, I think it's a good deal at $55, right? But let me know what you guys think. What cards under $5 are you most interested in? I try to respond to the comments as fast as I can, but let me know in those comments down below. Do click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe for even more content, but most importantly of all, of course, have a good day.